Okay, so our second story, the guy is called Edward. Let's call him Edward. It sounds like that's how it's pronounced, but I'm not sure. I don't think so. But we'll call him Edward. Guys, does it matter how I pronounce it, can't you? Has been left with only fragments of memory after an accident took everything from him, including his wife. Yet, as he puts his life back together, he makes a shocking discovery. Hannah is about to marry another man. Can he reclaim the woman he loved? This one is my favorite one. This one's the one that I loved because I love Edward. I love Ed. We'll call him Ed. So the story starts with Hannah on her phone. It's her wedding day. Hey, this girl is a workaholic. It's her wedding day, but she's answering emails. She's doing whatever on her phone, and then there's a limo parked, and then she just enters the limo, closes the door. Ding. Ihambi limo. But so you're getting married, and she's like, I am. I know that voice. Why do I know that voice? Why do I know that voice? She lifts her eyes up, and then she's like, I know those eyes. Turns out it's her husband, the one she thought was an ex-husband, but is not an ex-husband. And she's like, my guy, why are you here? Guy's like, you're my wife, and you're not allowed to marry someone else. Why are you still married to me? But she's like, no, I filed for divorce. And it's like, yeah, but it wasn't finalized, so I'm still your husband. So Gail is like, look, we'll sort this out later. Let me just go get married. But and the guy's like, no, not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I'm taking you to my hotel room. Also, she couldn't. He had a secret of his that obviously she couldn't risk him. So, because that's what he uses. Like, it's either I let you go to the wedding or I tell people what I know. I tell people about your secret. What will the clients think? And stuff like that. So she's like, okay, cool, let's just talk about this. But first, because I need to go get married. They get to his hotel room. Turns out, girl, when she was younger, she dropped out of high school because she was pregnant. Right? So guy doesn't know the part which she dropped out of school because she was pregnant. So this one's gonna be hard to narrate, man. Because let me give you details the way I also got them. Because if I tell you everything now, you won't understand the story as it goes by. Okay, so what happens is the guy knows that she faked her documents, like her high school certificates. So she never passed high school. She faked that, right? And got she faked her high school thingies and her college certificates, and then just went to apply for a job, and then she got it. So she applied for a job, could be a Spain. At this point, where does she stay? In California or New York or something? New York? New York. It has to be New York. I think New York. Anyway, she fakes it, gets the job in his father's company. Alright? And then he was just, I don't know why he was digging these things up, but he finds out. And then during that time, his dad was on his neck about him getting married, because he was just like, you need to get married, you need to get married, you know. And then he thought it's gonna be like a joke. It's gonna be like, ha ha ha, funny if he married an American woman who didn't know how to cook, clean, and do all those things, because his dad wanted more like a Spanish woman, a woman who would cook, stay at home and stuff. So he married her as a way to poke his dad, like aggravate him. Shabu, he calls the girl in and he's like, I have the secret of yours, and the only way I keep the secret safe and I don't get you arrested is if you marry me. So they get married, and then, but in that marriage, they were married for like 6 months, ne? In the marriage, they never slept together, they were never in the same room, they just think it in the eyes of the people, but at home they both were in their separate wings, right, kind of a thing. And then after 6 months, I don't know what happened for her to eventually leave and go back to New York. I don't know what led, I don't know the events that led to that. I don't even remember if they mentioned it, but yeah. She eventually left Spain and went to New York. I don't even remember, guys. I don't want to lie. But and then this is 5 years later, right? So when she left, she filed for a divorce. I think it was part of the arrangement or agreement or situation like that. So she filed for divorce and then left. Kanti brothers didn't sign the thing is, and you know what, register it and everything. So they get to the hotel room and guys like, we're still married. So even if I don't tell people about the other secret, you are still gonna be arrested for trying to marry someone else when you're still married to someone else. So Kate's like, okay, cool, what do you want? And the guy's like, are you happy? Do you love him? And she's like, me and Zeke we get each other. Me and Zeke's, we get each other. He gets me, I get him. To her, this marriage was more of a business deal because she had clients who didn't take it seriously because she was married, and the guy also needed a wife to soften his image. They both were in the like focused on their careers, so this was more like a business move, more than a personal or romantic move. And she was happy with that. Lozik, so like he was happy with that. So she's just like, it doesn't matter why I'm getting married, but I need to get married. So what do I need to do? And the guy's like, stay married to me, stay married to me, and live with me. See Spain. And get like, no, I'm not leaving my clients. I'm not doing that thing. And the guy's like, choose jail or being married to me. And she obviously won't choose jail, because also when they find out, that could also mess up her job and everything. So I get okay. I put in on top of that, the guy's like, you'll find your way home. He didn't even pay for a plane ticket, nothing. That's why I liked it. Like I like Edward. He was just like, he wasn't being manipulative. He's like, these are my cards on the table. I want you to stay married to me. My dad died. I need you to help with the financial side, because the girl is an accountant. The financial side of my father's company. And I don't trust anyone else. I want you as my wife to come back and help me. And she's like, do you trust me? He's like, no, I don't trust you, but I have something of yours that you wouldn't want people to know. So there's no way you will screw me over. So eventually, you know, girl agrees. We don't get to meet Zex. We just what we get to know about Zex is that he's focused on work. He's getting married because obviously the bachelor image is not, you know, appealing in his business. But they don't love each other. They know that. They just have this, we care about each other. They've never even slept together, kind of a thing. There's just business transaction situation. That's all we know about Zex. Anyway, but Shem, he still gets left at the altar. I don't think that's nice. Even if he wasn't in it for life, I don't think it's nice. And then she asks a happy age, like, please go to the wedding and tell Zex I'm not coming. The PA gets there, Zex is also not there. So Uket eventually just sends Zex a text. Hi, sorry I can't make it to our wedding. I found someone else. A text. Let's not even talk about the guests that were there, the food, the catering, okay, food is catering. Food, I wanted to say the food and the decor. The catering and the decor. And the hiring of the venue and all of those things. And Zex Wabantu being left at the altar, but cool. She sends a text, gets on a plane, goes to Spain. Mafika Spain, they're still staying in the same house. Mind you, like I said, they've never slept together. But it's not like the first story where a girl is sealed. No, she's just, they never slept together. And this time she's thinking it's gonna be the same thing. Love has other plans. She gets there. That's when Uka is like, I need you to help with the financial situation, kind of a thing. So Kate is like, but I don't get why you wouldn't ask. You could have had anyone. Why me? Uka is like I said, I have your secret, so you are bound to help me. Kate is like, okay. First day they go to the office. He introduces it, but people already knew her because of that 6 months she did there. And then she goes to the office. He shows her like, okay, this is the financial statements and everything. And he's like, okay, it's not even that bad. The last guy, was he stealing money or he was just incompetent? I don't remember. But there's something like the last guy didn't do. So it wasn't something that needed her to be, you know, kidnapped basically all the way to Spain. So okay, eventually comes clean and says like, I had an accident, right? He was riding a horse. Don't know what happened to the horse. It threw him. off, and then he hit something with his head, so he has like memory issues. So the life before that accident, he only remembers like fragments of it. And in actual fact, the reason why, like the personal reason why the guy wanted hair back is because he wanted to find out, why did I marry her? Like, who was I? Why was I attracted to her? Because he's trying to figure out, who am I, or who was I? You know, like, you know how you start feeling foreign in your body. Okay, obviously, if you've never had memory loss, you wouldn't know. I also don't know, but imagine it. Let's imagine it. You have forgotten some of the parts of your life, and then you are here, you don't understand, and you feel like he felt like if he brought her back, there's that connection would remind him of who he was, you know, kind of a thing. Okay, she's like, okay, cool, I'll help you, right? They start working together, and it's so bad where it's like he could be doing something and then memory loss situation. Yeah, well, and it was a little hard on himself when that happened. He didn't want people to know. He didn't want to be like weak in front of people, kind of a thing. Anyway, okay, realizes, okay, this is the issue, because if someone else knew what he is, that memory loss situation, they could easily exploit him. Yeah, well, cool. So they're staying together. Eventually this one weekend, they had been working hard prior to that, so it's like, we need this weekend to unwind. He used to get like migraines, like I get migraines if I work so much and not rest. So let's go. He had bought like a farmhouse, and he invited his mother and sister out, because clearly if you got back together with your wife, you know your family needs to know. Okay, cool. They go there. He obviously tells the family, yeah, we've gotten back together and all of those things. I get during that time, during that trip, is where they actually sleep together for the first time. They were in the pool, and then in the pool they started talking, and then it kind of was like a moment, and then the guy kissed her, and then they were kissing, and then she pulled out first. She's like, no, she was freaking out, because yeah, even like during that time, she was just finding out that she actually has so much in common with Ed than she did with Uzex. And she was like, feelings were starting to develop, but she has secrets. Like I told you, there's certain things you'll find out along the way. She has secrets she didn't want him to know, and he didn't have any more secrets. He just really had that memory thing, but he was still trying to figure out who he is, or who he was. So he also wasn't like into a relationship. He's just like, I need to know. Girl was like, I can't be in a relationship because there's secrets I don't want to tell you. So girl pulls back. After she pulls back, she then goes to the room, and she's like, I just lost my power. So they both like control freaks. They wanted power. She always wanted to be in power because of how she was raised. He also wanted to be in power because of how he was raised. So he was raised more like a successful dad, strict dad, and it's like the dad wanted to tell him how to live his life, and he didn't want that. So that's how that power struggle comes from Kuye. Whereas with the girl, Ohana grew up in a messed up home. Her parents separated. She stayed with her mom for the first 3 years of her life. Her mom did drugs or something. Eventually she took her back to her dad. Her dad lived in some trailer park somewhere. The dad and he just didn't take care of her. He was just always drinking and everything. So he grew up like that, and because of that he felt like he never had control of his life, almost like other people had control of her life. Not, oh sorry, I said his, I wanted to say her. Other people had control over her life, you know. So when she left that place, because she actually changed her name from the surname that she was using to Weston. She just, so like, you know, someone seeing checkers and deciding, I'm gonna call myself Nontobeko Checkers, you know, kind of a thing. So when she forged those documents, that's when she changed her name legally to something else, right? Cool. After that moment, she's like, oh I lost control. I don't want to lose control, and I also don't want him to think he has that control over me. So she's like, I'm gonna seduce him back and sleep with him so that we get the tension out of our system, and then after that I'll be in control. They sleep together. Yes, they sleep together that time. step together, it doesn't happen again. Until then, Johnny, they go back, right? When they're back, it's back to work as usual. This time they're getting to know each other here because they're staying together. They stay together, and Ohana has experienced how like his migraines affect him in his work and his ego as well. Yeah, well, sharp. This one day, it's like 3 weeks later, girl, clearly, mother nature didn't visit. The monthly visitor didn't visit, and she's like, what's happening? Because we use protection. She buys a pregnancy test, only to find out she's pregnant. Oh, actually, sorry, I'm skipping. They knew the thingy broke. They knew the disc broke because afterwards he found out and he told her, and then she's like, what are the chances of what I'll be so unlucky to fall pregnant? And then Uka was like, you'll be unlucky to fall pregnant with my child because of my memories issue. So that's not what Ohana meant, but that's how he took it. That's how they fought, and then that's how they eventually just said to leave the farmhouse and go back to work because they were talking to each other. So during this time, it's back to work as usual, but they're not talking to each other because the guy feels like Ohana is saying he's not man enough because of what happened with his head. Yabo. Ohana doesn't understand how deep that thing was for him, so she doesn't understand why he's mad, kind of a thing, right? Yeah, yay. Important that you know. So after 3 weeks, she does find out that she was unlucky because she is pregnant. And she's not that, like, she's like, I've already lied in my life, I'm not about to lie now. So she goes to the guy and like, we are pregnant. So what do we do? Guys like, we're keeping our child. We'll take care of our child. So this is where the other secret Hannah comes out. The reason why she didn't finish high school and she never went to college is because the girl fell pregnant in high school. Teenage pregnants. Challenging abafana mina. Let me tell you about boys. So she gets pregnant to this guy who was in his first year in college. The guy was like, I'm not gonna not focus on my studies because of, so either I abort or angazi wenzenjani. Okay, it's like, but we were together. Okay, I was like, I don't care, sort it out. She was too young to abort or too scared to abort, so she decides on adoption. So she pregnancy, finds a family, gives them his son. So Ohana, that's where also the need for control comes from, because she had to give up his son when she was young. So now she's pregnant again and she's like, I can't give up another child. But also she's not gonna be a mother. But she's like, I can't give up another child because I already have given up one child, kind of a thing. Hi, Umugele is like, what do we do? Okay, it's like, we're keeping the child. Umugele is like, I don't think I can, right? So guys, like, just sleep on it, just think about it. You understand? Kind of a thing. Sharp. And then they get home, and then Kanduka didn't realize how much this also was gonna be stressful to him, because he's in the middle of finding out who he is. Now he's about to be a dad. Like, what am I supposed to do with a child and I don't know who I am? So this is overthinking and everything, and eventually he has a migraine. This is the first migraine that Hannah actually gets to witness. He gets a migraine in his bedroom. Hannah Mati Sapa Mundagez at my room Funa. That's where, like, she's knocking, he's not answering. He just keeps saying, go away. But she's like, what? When she enters the room, she finds he's like on the floor. He can't see. Like, that's how bad his migraines would get. Like, he would just go blind. And then she cuddles him, she gives him his pills, she nurses him. I was like, oh, look at you, Hannah, practicing to be a mom. But okay, for him, that was like, that was a weakness to him. To like, oh, Hannah, we have to take care of our child and take care of me. On top of that, Hannah was just, in that moment when she was taking care of him, she was like, you know what, I can actually take care of someone. I really can actually take care of someone. Yabo. Shabu, they go past this situation, and my chips. You know how the story starts. At first it's like, oh, I don't want to touch them, and once they touch each other, they keep touching each other. Okay, they keep touching each other. So now they like touching each other, right? And Ukai eventually proposes like, okay, cool, we are married. It is like it's in our son or daughter's best interest for us to stay married, kind of a thing. And then Ohana was a little skeptical about that because she was like, she wasn't sure what she wanted a family, especially because of the kind of family that she had. And also at this point, she still hasn't told him about her child that she gave up. Okay, cool. But she agrees because it obviously makes sense. Abe is single mother, right? So they tell even his mom and his sister it's a joyous occasion for them. They're having a child. At this point, their relationship now, their marriage is it's more on the friends with benefit sides, but at least there's benefits. I get it. There's something there. There's something. There's hope for us as the reader, as readers. There's hope for us. Those benefits tend to strengthen relationships. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there's that friends with benefits situations, and this goes on, and then what happened? I'm trying to figure out what happened because this is the climax. This is where something happens, and all the progress that we've made is destroyed. I'm trying to figure out what happened, what brought about that thingy. Oh, they eventually decide again to go back to the farmhouse on a holiday situation, kind of a vibe, because guy had to take them like constantly to clear his head. So they go there, they bond, kumnandi and everything. And this is where Hannah decides, I need to tell this guy the truth. I tell guy the truth. Like, this is what I did, this is what happened, this is how I got to be in the situation that I was in when you found me, kind of a thing. Guys, like, okay, I respect you, made love for you for giving up your child. It can't have been easy, but made love, everything. But now it just makes Ukai feel like she's such a strong woman. She is really such a strong woman. Mina me weak, I can't take care of her. So even as they leave the farmhouse, is distant. Oh, Hannah now, she's now in love because man just say when she was confessing, it was because she was now in love with the guy and she really wants it to work. Okay, and he's now decided to take a step back because like I can't take care of her. Yeah, I understand. I can provide financially, but Hannah needs a strong man, a man with like memory rights without any issues with his mind. Masebe soka lapayana he's distant because in his mind he doesn't want to be a couple anymore. They go back to their house, but even that then Hannah can tell something is wrong. So eventually guys like we need to talk. Hannah she felt it in the stomach like something's about to happen, and then it's like, yeah, I don't think I can take care of you. I don't think this arrangement will work. So let's stick to just being married in public, and then we just have to be parents. We don't, let's not complicate things. Complicate Hannah is heart, kidney, pancreas, deep in the relationship. So she's like, what do you mean? But you guys like, yeah, this is how I want it done. And then Hannah is like, if that's how you want it done, then I'm moving out. Alright, I'm gonna move out. Did she wanna move back? She knew she couldn't move back because obviously she didn't have a job anymore. But it was almost like it's all or nothing. It's either we do this or we don't do this. So guys like, okay, cool, then let's not do this. I am moving out to guy. Oh, Hannah. I'm moving out to Hannah. She went to stay at some hotel. Oh my word, Ed is so miserable. He's so miserable. I felt sorry for him because I felt like he was justified, or like his insecurities were valid. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like he's a man. He wanted to be the provider, protector, and everything, and he was in a situation where should things go left, where he really can't remember things, someone else will have to run the company. It will probably be Ohana. And so that will make Ohana the provider, and he didn't want that for you. To him, it was like, you went through so much in life. I don't want you to go through all those things again with me. I'm supposed to make your life better, not harder. I liked it. I'm not gonna lie. I liked it because he could really have had everything, but he really chose to be selfless and be like, let me release this girl so that she finds someone else. Like, I'm gonna take care of my child, but let her find someone, that's gonna take care of her. So I loved Shem. The entire time he had good intentions. The entire time there's not even one part where Ed was being a scumbag about anything. He might have been a scumbag before we met him, when he was marrying her just to provoke his dad. But other than that, Shemina, he wants to take care of his mom, his sister, and his wife, right? But he knows he can't do that, and it terrifies him because it makes him feel like he's less than a man. Anyway, cool. Ohana moves out. Ed is miserable, but he just has to keep the show running. And then this one day he was leaving a meeting. He had a migraine. He just got inside a car because he had a driver. He can't drive. He had to get a driver because some of the times he can't even drive because of the migraines and the memory loss situation. When he's inside the car, I asked when a voice, "Are you tired?" Like, I can't do Hannah. You remember how he kidnapped Hannah? By the beginning of the story, Hannah kidnaps him, and then she's going to the farmers because that's where his peace is at. That's like his sanctuary. So she's going there, and then along the way she parks on the side of the road, and she's like, "My guy, we are in this together. You don't get to decide who to win because you can't provide. Now I have to suffer. I love you, and I love you like that with your memory loss and everything else. I love you. I'm here for you. I want our child to grow up with both of us as parents, and I know I can help you. I know we can put systems in place to help you remember things. Like we can put stickers, reminders on your phone. Like there's things we can do to make it work. But what I'm not doing is leaving you, because now I love you. Now what do you want me to do with this love? What am I supposed to do with these feelings now that you're saying I should leave you? I'm not going anyway. I am not going anyway." And then it's just like, "Do you understand? I can't be the guy you want or the guy you need. You're such a strong woman, whatever." And guys is like, "You're not the one to decide for me. These are my feelings. This is my heart. I want you. And I need you." Cute moments. I was just like, because if I was Hannah, I know myself. Kani, you see this forehead? Kani, you get it. Everything that's in this forehead. Kani. I would also have waited for him to come back to his senses and come and beg me to take him back. But to Hannah was like, "Kanyege, I'm in love. I'm not trying to be hurting because of you. Let's get back together." You guys like, "Are you sure? Are you gonna hang with? You have seen how bad it gets?" So I was like, "Piece of cake. I'm not going anyway." So yeah, they make up and then they go to the farmhouse thingy, and then the epilogue is of them with four kids. So they had 3 other kids after the one they had, and then it also shows how Ohana received a letter from the son that she gave up. You remember, because she did send him a letter like explaining the details and everything. So they kept in touch, even though he didn't come back to it, because he obviously had parents now, but they kept in touch, and he wasn't angry at her. He understood her reasoning and everything. So we end the story with 4 kids. They're happily married. That was my favorite story. I really loved how it was. You know what I'm saying? I loved how Ohana grabbed the bull by the horns, and she's like, "You're my man. You know, like, you're my man. I want you, and I'm not gonna leave you." Shane. It was cute. Oh, so Ed doesn't get his memory back or anything. If anything, his encounter with Hannah doesn't remind him of the past, but it does reveal some of his characteristics, some of his strengths, and he gets to capitalize on that, and he gets to work on that. So that's how that one ended. Loved it. And I guess in terms of like their description, hey, one thing about News and Bones, the guys always have like, if they don't have blonde hair or red hair, they have black hair, but the body is everything lean, muscular, long legs, like, it's just the same. So take the character, the first one I said, take from one advert, go to another one and pick one and make them 8. Ohana was lean and like very slender, like no curves, nothing. Like, who does she remind me of? Let's just take Zendaya. And just, guys, come on, use your imagination. Create Nani, create something there. So yeah, they ended up making it work and they had more kids. So that's our story number 2.